One of the most interesting parts of Carl Jung's work was this idea of the mother archetype. And it was fascinating to me to understand that your early relationship with your mother is really truly how you unconsciously process your relationship with the world. If you had a loving mother and she was nurturing all the time, you might find the world is a safe, beautiful place. But as you know, mothers aren't perfect, and if they're critical or they have high standards for you, or if you feel not loved and appreciated, you will tend to project that onto the world. And quite simply, if you think about it, when you were in the womb, that mother was your world. It was like a cocoon of safety and security. You felt and absorbed all her experiences and emotions. You were one person at one time. You were part of your mother's body. Imagine how profound that is. And then you leave the body and you're put into this world at immediately 20-degree drop in temperature out of this warm, loving environment into the world. And now you're trying to navigate yourself with your mother is still that bond that I need her security. I need that safety early on. And then how you process that relationship, whether you rebel from your mother or your mother abandons you or whatever happens in that mother-child relationship, that pattern, that imprint is what you see in the world. I really love this idea because it really makes sense when you wonder maybe why you don't step out and do something you love or feel like you can put yourself out there if you are a coach or an Instagram influencer, maybe hold back or maybe afraid to be one of those because maybe the world taught you when you were a young age that it's not safe. Maybe your mother kept you under control, those devouring mothers that didn't want you to be the shining star or get too much attention because of her own stuff that she went through her mother. And it goes from generation to generation to generation. Mothers learn how to mother how they were mothered. Sometimes they rebel against their mother and mother in the opposite way. Sometimes they align and do the same thing. Sometimes there's a mixture of both. But there's a lot that goes into how a mother mothers her child and then how you received that dynamic in yourself. So there's other opportunities for you to basically look at your mother with non-judgment, see that she was acting out of her own patterns or her own unconscious patterns. You don't need to forgive her or anything like that. You can just see if you can sit with that, any resentment you have with dropping the judgment and maybe having some compassion for someone who's trying to, make her way in the world. Maybe she had you really young, or maybe she had you when she had 12 children and she was overwhelmed. You don't know what was going on with her, and you don't know what she had to basically suppress in order to, kind of make sure the family was okay. And so, this mother-child relationship is very, very profound. It's the core of how we see everything in the world, much more than the father. The father is there, but the mother is the body that you came from, this bond that you really can't deny on that instinctual level. So think about your life. Think about your relationship with your mother and ask yourself, how am I seeing the world? How am I feeling safe in the world? Where do I feel security? Where am I always trying to seek acknowledgement, approval, acceptance? And where did that come from? Where do I not naturally feel that way? Or maybe you feel naturally confident. You feel that you can walk into a room and everyone loves you. And maybe that comes from the fact that maybe your mother was loving, or maybe you found your way through your own process to find that within yourself. But really just check out that dynamic with your early life. Remember your early life. You might have a great relationship now. Maybe you didn't have a good relationship when you were younger. So that early life is really that really locks everything in, all that conditioning. And then we're not even realizing it. We're not even conscious of it, but we're projecting that out in the world. And if we could basically heal the relationship we have with our mother, come to terms with it, understand ourselves in that dynamic, and then choose to be outside of that if we want to, out of choice, we can start to see the world in a different way. We can start to see the world as loving and nurturing and kind and friendly to your plans. And I think it'll change a lot of your relationships, whether it's romantic, personal, or professional.